R-rated comedies are back. Before I get into the movie review, this needs some context. So, go way back to the late 90s, early 2000s. There's something about Mary made a... Can I say crapload? There's something about Mary made a crapload of money. And because of that, studios thought, oh my gosh, we need to make as many raunchy R-rated comedies as possible with as little money as possible. And that was the bread and butter of Hollywood from like the late 90s all the way to maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. Superbad, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, Bridesmaids, Good Boys, 21 Jump Street. All these movies were humongous successes, and they were R-rated comedies. And then streaming came along, and for whatever reason, they started putting those on the streaming services, and movies in theaters were mostly like big blockbuster Marvel stuff. We don't get a lot of R-rated comedies anymore. And it seems like this is the studios tipping their toes back into, can we start doing these again? It's like this and Joyride that comes out later this year. This is also a high concept comedy, which is another huge thing that was huge way back in 20 years ago. And it doesn't really happen anymore. Like a high concept comedy is, you just say one line, like Jim Carrey as a pet detective. Boom, Ace Ventura, you got it, go see it. Or Seth Rogen does anything, smokes a lot of pot, go see the movie. High concept comedies were huge, and now we don't really get them that much anymore. And now we have Jennifer Lawrence has to date a 19-year-old for a car. Jennifer Lawrence took a few years off, and now she's back in a R-rated comedy. And she plays a kind of like aimless 30-year-old who's down on her luck. This movie's such a throwback that it has a montage of her like putting mail down, and all of it says rent due, taxes are bad, blah, blah, blah. Like she needs money. Her car gets towed, and she sees an ad on Craigslist where if you date our 19-year-old son, we will give you a car. So she does it. And then she grows, and the 19-year-old grows as well, and jokes are in between. That's the movie. And it's a lot of fun. Or it's kind of fun. It should be more fun. The movie itself has a lot of good jokes, but also it's a little too long, and it's not as like peppy and like I just said. It has like missing like a sense of fun almost, where it kind of takes itself a little too seriously in some parts, which is funny, but it's also not as like, zippy, or I think I already said that. Jennifer Lawrence is fantastic in this. She is once again like showing how much of like a once in a generation talent she is. And she can do drama. Obviously, she won an Oscar for it. She can do comedy, and this is mostly comedy. But the parts where she has to be heartfelt and sell a dramatic scene, she's got it. And then whenever she needs to do a kung fu scene where she's butt naked, and it's hilarious, nails that too. Go see this movie if you like jokes, and if you want to see an R-rated comedy in a theater again, laugh with strangers in a dark room. This is the movie for you. It's run-of-the-mill, but it's also, we haven't seen a run-of-the-mill R-rated comedy in a long time. That's a weird pitch for me to tell you to watch this movie. But it just makes you feel good. It's funny. It's a good date night movie. If you don't want to go out in theaters, just rent it. It's worth a rent, or buying it on streaming, whatever. Matthew Broderick is barely in this movie. Oh, here we go. R-rated comedies used to have random cameos, and this is sort of like trying to bring that back. We got one scene with Kyle Mooney and one scene with Hassan Minaj, and usually they have a lot more cameos, but maybe they're just trying to like tiptoe their ways back into this like genre that's dead. They're both very funny in this, and I just wish there was more jokes, but hey, I'm just happy we have an R-rated comedy back. Out of 10 Uber rides out of 10, this is a 6.5. It's exactly what you think it is. It is it's just an excuse to have fun, hear some jokes, and kill an hour and a half. But it's also, it's entertaining. And again, if you love Jennifer Lawrence, she is amazing in this. Go see it. If you like comedies, it's a solid one. Go see it. I just wish we had more of these. Like the last one I can think of is Bros, and that bombed. And so I'm worried that this will bomb too, but we'll see. You know, maybe Joyride will make a ton of money. Go see this movie. That's all I have to say. Bye!
Un esercito di